Gairy Hall, Columbia College, class of 2011, Columbia Business School, class of 2016. Currently a student back on campus. Stay fairly heavily involved with Columbia, executive board of the Young Alumni Association, vice chair for the class agent program, art interviewer, volunteer for CCAA, student senator at the business school, student government at the business school. I think the list goes on a little bit from there. Yeah, I think probably Dean Quigley, just because of the connection I had with him before school. I met him at an alumni reception a couple years before I even applied. My father's class of 77 in the college, and to this day he still remembers me and can pinpoint my year, give or take one or two. But kind of like the connection he had with students, I think was pretty profound. The way I describe him is like, if you could just create a dean in a laboratory, it would be Quigley. So probably a strong connection there. Didn't take class with him. He actually left the deanship, I think, my sophomore year, and that changed over to Dean Moody Adams and now Valentini. But yeah, no classes with him, actually on campus. I don't think I spoke to him that much on campus. It's kind of been before and after I was an actual student.
Well, you mentioned Gulati.
Mm-hmm.
Could you talk a little bit about how you first met Gulati? And I'm assuming you took classes.
I did take his Principles of Economics,
Awesome.
which, even though it was the intro class, was probably one of my hardest econ classes. The only class I ever pulled an all-nighter for at Columbia.
That's impressive.
Definitely needed it to squeak by in the final, but was just one of those inspirational professors. Yeah, I think, I mean, he wants you to earn it if you're going to get an A, and I think it's a lower percentage than what you usually have in Columbia classes. But he really wanted to see students go above and beyond. This wasn't just you're checking off principles to go take, micro or get to your thesis class or something like that down the road. He really wanted to teach you the fundamentals of economics. Again, kind of going back to that passion that he has. He wanted to make an imprint on your education, whether you were an econ major or not. Yeah, I think he's he has kind of some gravitas around him as far as when he speaks, the preparation he put into the course. I mean, this was in Econ 101 class, but you could really see how interested in the material he was, but also how dedicated he was towards the students. He's a very passionate lecturer. He has his outside involvement as president of FIFA, I believe, and he could go along a myriad of other interests if he wanted to, but you could see every class, one after another, just the passion he had for teaching, and making a difference on our education, whether it's economics or broadly, even if you weren't an econ major. And he has a legendary final class that talks about the income inequality in the world and kind of the responsibility we have as citizens of the world. And that's something that has stuck with me, even since taking that freshman year. I knew coming into Columbia I was going to be an economics major, and I wanted to go into the financial services sector. I think this class definitely reaffirmed that, and even though it was tough, made me want to work even harder and stick with it. Develop that really strong foundation that then helped me in elective classes, and even now, in the business school, thinking about what I learned in that course. But yeah, I think it kind of continued me on the trajectory that I was on, maybe accelerated, what I was doing.